The Denver Broncos just unleashed a wave of moves that send one clear message: Sean Payton isn't flinching. No panic. No hesitation. Just determination. Even with trade rumors swirling, he's showing the league that he's locked in and focused on building the identity of this team. Now, let's be real, September has never been Payton's strongest month. His playbook is massive, filled with complex schemes and personnel packages that take time to iron out. And right now, that's exactly what he's doing: experimenting, testing, figuring out which combinations work best. For Broncos fans, it can feel frustrating. One series you see a lineup, then suddenly a whole new group of guys rotates in. Around the NFL, other teams look settled while Denver is still mixing pieces. But that's Payton's style. He treats September as a proving ground, knowing that by week 4, the right formula will reveal itself. We saw this story play out before. Last season started rough, but once Payton identified what worked, the Broncos surged. That adjustment carried them into snapping a playoff drought that felt endless. Look at the numbers. Payton's career September record is just barely above .500, 30 wins, 28 losses. Doesn't sound elite, right? But then comes October. In that month, no coach in NFL history has won more games. That's where Payton flips the switch, where all the early chaos sharpens into dominance. So when the outside noise grows louder, Payton's message is simple: relax. The real Broncos are coming. If you've ever wondered why Sean Payton's offense looks so complicated early in the season, just listen to a sample play call. Deer Henderson, Chris Ivory, Green right, nasty ZPL fake 37, Buster bluff, naked right, X post, Y. And that's just one play. No wonder Bo Nix is fighting the clock to get the snap off. No wonder the Broncos lead the league in penalties tied to formations and substitutions. This isn't sloppiness, it's the price of running one of the most detailed, demanding systems in football. But here's the key: Payton isn't rattled. He knows exactly what he's doing. Even with fans worrying, even with the noise outside, he stays steady. Take this past extended week as proof. Because of Monday Night Football, the Broncos had extra time in their schedule. Payton used it to evaluate needs, scour the market, and bring in talent for tryouts. And what stood out? Not a single tight end on that list. Why? Because Payton is confident Evan Engram is on his way back. He believes Engram will step into that joker role, the versatile weapon this offense desperately needs. And just as puzzling, there were no inside linebackers brought in either. To some fans, that looks strange. But really, it speaks volumes. It shows Payton's trust in the players he already has, his belief that the foundation is strong. Every move screams confidence. While others see chaos, Payton sees control. Inside linebackers are often the kind of players you can find anywhere, guys cut loose, waiting for a chance. Yet Sean Payton didn't bring in a single one for a workout. That tells you everything. It shows the Broncos believe in the personnel already on the roster. None of these tryout players were close to cracking the lineup, because Payton is standing firm with his core. Denver did make one notable addition, though, a defensive back pulled from the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad. Maybe it's a strategic play, with the Eagles matchup just 2 weeks away. Maybe it's a little intel grab. Either way, it's a move that signals confidence rather than desperation. And then came the bigger adjustment. With Dre Greenlaw on injured reserve, the Broncos filled that roster spot by elevating Adam Prentice, making him the team's official fullback. When Michael Burton went down, speculation swirled. Would Nate Atkins slide into that role, following the tight end to fullback path we've seen stars like Kyle Juszczyk take? Payton answered that question loudly: no. Atkins stays a tight end, where he's already logging significant snaps. Instead, Payton worked the roster chessboard like he always does. He stashed Prentice on the practice squad, used him when needed, and now brought him up at the perfect moment. It's calculated. It's smart. And it's a clear message: this team is not scrambling. Sean Payton has faith in his roster. No panic. No doubt. Just conviction. Sean Payton himself said it best: if we learn our lessons in these games, it's going to pay off. Judge us at the end of the year, not the beginning. That's the true measure of this season. But behind the scenes, the Broncos are making moves that almost nobody is talking about, moves that could give this franchise a massive competitive edge. And it's not just about players or coaches. It's about technology. This offseason, Denver's ownership group showed its muscle in a way few NFL teams ever have. They pulled one of the top technology experts away from the Golden State Warriors. That almost never happens. The NBA pays far more, and experts don't just walk away from championship organizations. But the Broncos made it happen. And they didn't stop there. The team went out and hired someone even more unique, Sean, a nuclear physicist with a background in advanced analytics. Yes, a nuclear physicist. His expertise in data and predictive modeling is unlike anything most NFL teams have ever seen. In fact, Sean made his mark back in 2021 through Amazon Web Services' Big Data Bowl, a competition that brings the brightest minds in sports analytics together to push the limits of what numbers can reveal about football. The Broncos aren't just investing in players. They're investing in innovation, in brains as much as brawn. And that could change everything. Sean wasn't just another analyst, he was a finalist in Amazon's Big Data Bowl, a competition built to showcase the brightest minds in football analytics. His models were groundbreaking, measuring things like which corners excel at disrupting routes before the release, who's the best at contesting passes, who creates turnovers, and who can chase down receivers after the catch. That kind of insight is game-changing. It's the difference between guessing and knowing. It's the future of football, and the Broncos now have it in-house. After that success, Sean moved into the private sector, working for a company once known as Zoos, now called Teamworks, a platform that takes Amazon Web Services-style data analysis and cranks it up to another level. His work there pushed the boundaries of predictive modeling, player performance tracking, and advanced decision-making. Now, Denver has brought that mind into their building. While other teams are just scratching the surface of analytics, the Broncos are diving in headfirst. And that could give Sean Payton and this roster a true competitive advantage. The technology Denver has invested in doesn't just sound impressive, it changes the game. This platform, built by Sean and his team, is so advanced that franchises pay massive money just to get access. It can break down rosters, predict outcomes, and even guide in-game decisions. Think about it, fans were furious when Sean Payton didn't go for it on 4th and inches. With analytics like this, those decisions won't just be gut calls, they'll be backed by hard data in real time. The system even uses RFID chips embedded in players' gear to measure true speed, explosiveness, and stamina. That means Denver can match up players more intelligently, craft smarter game plans, and know exactly how their athletes stack up against the competition. And it doesn't stop there. Sean's background in nuclear engineering and statistical modeling allows the Broncos to project future player durability, free agency risks, and roster-building scenarios with remarkable accuracy. Imagine going into an off-season already knowing the likelihood of a key starter holding up for 14 or more games. That's the edge Denver now has. It's almost poetic, an old-school coach like Sean Payton, pacing the sideline with grit and fire, now armed with one of the brightest data minds in the country whispering information into his ear. Football instinct meets cutting-edge science. Tradition meets innovation. And together, it could redefine the Broncos' future. This move isn't just about today, it's about building a foundation for the future. The Broncos aren't trying to be good for one season. They're trying to build something that lasts. And now, as we look ahead, the trade market is heating up. Teams like the Titans are already unloading players. The Browns' season is falling apart. The Jets are finished. The Bears seem to have found their answer at wide receiver. That means opportunities are opening for Denver. One name that keeps coming up, David Njoku. The Browns drafted a young tight end who's quickly emerging, and Njoku's role has started to shift. Around Broncos Country, fans are asking, should Denver make a move? Sean Payton has made it clear, he wants a dynamic tight end to help Bo Nix develop. If there's any doubt about Evan Engram's health, don't be shocked if the Broncos explore a trade. Njoku is big, explosive, and exactly the kind of weapon this offense could use. Another conversation? Wide receiver. Against the Jets, Courtland Sutton was the only receiver who consistently made an impact. That fact alone could push Denver to look at upgrades or reinforcements on the outside. The trade rumors are swirling, and one thing's for certain, the Broncos aren't done yet. The week before, it was Troy Franklin against the Colts who stood out as the only receiver making a true impact. That raises the question, should Denver add another playmaker on the outside? One name being floated is DJ Moore. The Bears have an overload of weapons after the draft, and some in Chicago are already asking whether Moore could be moved. If he hits the market, the Broncos could be in position to strike. Imagine pairing Courtland Sutton, Troy Franklin, and DJ Moore with Bo Nix. It would give Denver an arsenal few defenses could handle. Of course, the debate remains, should the Broncos chase a wide-out, target an inside linebacker, or simply trust the roster as it is? Sean Payton's actions suggest he believes in his team. He worked out defensive backs and receivers, not tight ends or linebackers. That confidence speaks volumes. Broncos Country, this isn't just about surviving the season. It's about chasing greatness. This team is being built for a deep playoff run, and every move is part of a bigger vision. The message is clear, believe.